Um, like I just said, I was under the impression that the paternity test that was performed on Zeus, I was under the impression that it was authentic. However, it came to my understanding that it was not authentic. It
So
was
when did
not.
you find out? When did you find out that he could potentially be yours?
So I've been more vocal on the internet.
But you mean to tell me Krishan's ex-boyfriend passed away? Is this raising flags for anybody else? Because the timing is weird. Was it the allegations? Was he talking too much? I don't know, it just feel like a setup. Like, is that really his baby?
Be the reason why other passengers that you have in your car come to their untimely death. You would rethink what you're saying. People oftentimes take their life for granted. They take their freedom and their liberties for granted. Don't be doing that. Don't be.
When her ex-boyfriend Ronnie, who had been claiming to be Junior's biological father for months, was discovered dead under suspicious circumstances, the internet almost went insane. The whispers were no longer whispers. The rumors were no longer merely a joke. After bringing up Krishnan's name during a police investigation and daring to guess that she might have been more involved in Ronnie's death than initially thought, people began to side-eye her like never before. The fact that Ronnie had been strident, forceful, and opinionated about wanting a DNA test in the days before his death didn't help either. He made it clear that Junior was his kid, not Blueface's. He was also tired of being misled, left out of the story, and Keishon serving as the gatekeeper to the truth. But Keishon refused to submit the test in her usual fashion.
Deserve to have that proven to me through what? A DNA test. If Junior is not my son, the DNA test will prove that. Right or wrong? Right. Any father on here, any real man, stand-up man that potentially has the privilege of being a father would want to make things right and would want to know if that's his child. Yeah. Around that time, you know what's up. Krishan was back and forth from what? LA to Baltimore. LA to Baltimore. Y'all know that. Every single last one of y'all know that. She told y'all out her own mouth. I'm not here to expose nobody. I'm not going to sit here and tell y'all, oh, why is Tasiki and Sean not cool? I'm not going to tell y'all that. I'm not going to tell y'all that. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I want to know if Junior is...
She tried to paint him as a stalker, diverted, stalled, and shut him down. Ronnie left before he ever received the answers he had fought so hard to get, almost too conveniently. Given what had happened, the situation seemed far more questionable. According to the authorities, Ronnie's death wasn't an accident. It wasn't an odd accident. The problem wasn't being in the wrong location at the wrong time. The target was it. Christian was found lying on the ground in front of a residence about 25 minutes outside of Baltimore, Maryland, where he was born and raised and still maintains connections to people with a lengthy history in the city's criminal underworld. The damage had already been done, even though they tried their hardest to rush to his side, provide emergency care, and eventually take him to a hospital. He died shortly after arriving. It was promptly categorized as a homicide by the authorities. Someone wanted to have Ronnie. Someone stopped Ronnie from insisting on that DNA test any further. And someone, either directly or indirectly, tugged the threads to make it happen.
Yeah, Junior right here.
You
Weird as a...
Why
You weird as...
me at the moment?
You weird as shit.
What's wrong?
You weird as shit. Nobody stalking you. That's my son. That's my fucking son. That's my fucking son. What you want to do?
Excuse me.
What do you want to do?
I'm calling the car.
I don't give a call him. Nobody touch you.
Go to the car. Go.
Call him.
Go.
Yeah.
Go. I'm calling the car. That's weird as shit.
You ran behind them. I'm trying to holler at you like a dog. You police. You a police.
Hey, time to go.
You a police.
It's time to go.
You a police.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. I need you out the...
What you talking about? Okay. I need you out the mall, okay? I need you out the mall. I need you out the mall. Okay. I need you out the mall. Okay. I need you out the mall. Okay. Let's go this one. Okay. Let's go this one. I need you out the mall. Let's go this one. Let's go this one. All right. Let's go this one.
You've been following Krishan long enough to see why people are ignoring this whole situation. She's not only a Baltimore native, It's her stronghold. She knows people there who are notorious for not playing fair, handling things their own way, and not backing down from a fight. Consequently, when there were whispers that maybe Ronnie wasn't supposed to die and that maybe the objective was just to scare him,
Just give him what he asked for so she could get rid of him. That's what I would do. I would give him that test that day and the results too. Now, be gone.
Blow it.
Cause just imagine if she give him that test, she don't never have to talk to him again. Cause y'all already know I know it's my baby. I don't play like that. Y'all see, y'all don't hear me saying nothing. How bad I wish I could, honey. I don't say nothing.
maybe rough him up. You might even jump him to get him to back off and quit after Christian. That was easy for people to believe. But if that was the plan, it went too far. Too far away. And now, instead of being silent for a minute, Ronnie was permanently silent. His family immediately went public, distraught and furious. Everyone was reminded that this was more than just a clickbait tale when his uncle posted a heartfelt Facebook tribute, shattering the claims. This man, who was only 24, was really gone. He wrote, "I've been crying all night because Ronnie's uncle ought to have been the one burying him, not the other way around." He described Ronnie as the closest thing he had ever had to a son before the birth of his own son, Elijah. Losing him was as devastating as losing his own father, he said. He promised Ronnie that the family would not give up until the issue was settled and that justice would be done. And his comments were tinged with pure agony. Ronnie was more than just a tale in the papers. He was a son, a nephew, and a friend before he died. But while his family was grieving, the internet started doing what it does best, connecting people, spreading ideas, and causing chaos. Since everyone knew that her and Ronnie's past was more than a small incident, Chrisean was at the center of it all. It was raucous and filthy, and it happened in public. Ronnie had been demanding a DNA test for months, insisting that Junior was his son and not Blueface's. He said that Chrisean was lying by using the baby to kidnap Blueface and ensure her position at his side. And he didn't just say it behind his back.
Whatever charges she's trying to put on me, because she's trying to put charges on me to evade a DNA test.
She is? How could you evade a DNA test?
Get me locked up so that since I'm the one requesting the paternity test, the court can ignore it. If I'm well, I've never personally been through this situation, so I don't know. But I would assume if I'm locked up in jail, it would be easier for her to evade the paternity test because the court is ordering that it be done. So if I'm in jail, who's gonna request the paternity? You don't have your rights when you're in jail.
In jail. I mean, I know you probably don't know. I don't know if you've been in jail, but they do give paternity tests in jail. But that's neither here nor there. So how come you waited this long to like say anything? Because Junior is like a year old now.
He's 15 months. Like I just said, I was under the impression that the paternity test that was performed on Zeus, I was under the impression that it was authentic. However, it came to my understanding that it was not authentic. It was not.
When did you find out? When did you find out that he could potentially be yours?
So I've been more vocal on it.
He shouted it whenever he could corner her, even in public spaces and retail malls. There is video of him screaming at her that Junior was his, even though she tried to act like he was some crazy stalker bothering her. She even called the police on him, claiming to be the victim, while Ronnie shouted in the background that he wasn't stalking her. His child was the only thing he was fighting for. He wanted to be known for being honest. He wanted his role to be respected. He looked for proof. He even obliquely criticized Krishna for preventing him from seeing Junior and for hiding behind Blueface's image and posts about the extent people will go to in order to support a falsehood, according to his own words. It got considerably more hectic when Blueface's mother, Carissa, stepped in. She has never shied away from confronting Krishnan, and this time was no different. If Christian was so sure Junior was a member of Blueface, she said bluntly she should just give Ronnie the test and be done with it. Because once the results were known, he would have no motive to irritate her. Carissa essentially told the internet that she would have given the man the test that same day in order to finally get rid of him. What she meant was clear. Only if you are unsure of the results should you keep avoiding the DNA test. Furthermore, Ronnie's case was only made stronger by Chrisean's persistent avoidance. Because he believed the DNA test that Crow and Blueface conducted on Zeus was genuine, Ronnie admitted that he just didn't press sooner. At first, he thought so. He thought it was real. But after a while, he started to believe that the test was a staged test, a hoax, and a complete fabrication. He then started to speak up more, demanding his own examination and working harder than before. He also asserted that Chrisean started behaving dishonestly at that time. He claimed she tried to get him put in jail by making up charges against him, so the courts would ignore his request for a DNA test if he was incarcerated. He swore that was her play. Keep Junior imprisoned, ruin his image, and conceal his fatherhood behind red tape. Whether or not the story was true, he spread it, and a lot of people believed it. When he passed very suddenly, all of those threads came together to create a huge conspiracy. Hold on a second, they said. He only requested a DNA test. Recently, he went public again. He just applied pressure to her and walked away. The murmurs quickly turned into accusations. Internet users claimed that Chrisean had to be involved, even if it was indirectly. She probably persuaded some Baltimoreans to deal with Ronnie without anticipating that some would go too far, they said. It was said that it was more than a coincidence that the shooting occurred so close to the house where she grew up. They remembered her relationships with people who could easily accomplish it. And suddenly, instead of just being a distressed ex, she was being portrayed as a possible genius. Cash, of course, did not keep quiet. She replied by sharing a DNA test from 2023, which she said proved Blueface was Junior's father and she was his mother. She posted a photo of Ronnie with his music playing in the background, expressed her condolences to his family, and suggested that instead of accusing her, people should report what they know to the police. She thought that was enough respect and proof. However, it felt like too little, too late to the internet because people were unable to get the time perfect. If she had that test all along, why hadn't she told him about it while he was still alive? Why wait till after his passing to obtain the documents? It seems that she intended to silence him for good and then, after the event, to remove the evidence. The emergence of the Blueface rumors made things much more problematic. There were rumors that he was actually celebrating Ronnie's death from prison. People couldn't believe it. He and Ronnie never had a falling out. The issue was with Chrisean, not with Ronnie. So what would make Blueface so happy? Many speculated that Blueface knew the truth and that Ronnie had every reason to believe Junior was his, because of the alleged affair between Ronnie and Chrisean while she was still with Blue. That would explain Ronnie's confidence. That would explain his tenacity and the chance that Blue may see Ronnie's death as one fewer problem to deal with and one less rival denigrating his family. Whatever the truth of the claim, the image of Blueface smiling when Ronnie's family buried him only made it more disgusting. At the end of the day, Ronnie was just 24 years old. Lying on the ground in Maryland, begging for a chance to prove his paternity, was not how he should have died. He searched perhaps too hard for answers that hung just out of his reach all the time. And even while he was dying, he never received what he most wanted: confirmation. Was Junior, his son, really his name? Or was he just another man caught up in Chrisean's never-ending madness? We'll never know for sure. And that's why this story is so unsettling. It's more than just losing a life. That's the question that hasn't been answered. The internet split into factions as usual. Because of his persistence, confidence, and even the fact that Junior resembled him, some people asserted that Ronnie was the father. They claimed that if Chrisean had nothing to hide, she would have tested him immediately. She was supported by others who said Ronnie was unstable, distracted, and only harming himself. But the loudest voices were those that emphasized the obvious. The oddness of his death's timing could not be ignored. He exerted too much pressure, merely revealed the truth, and then suddenly disappeared.